Right now, it's really on hold for the GM meetings and spend time these next 2-3 days, obviously talking to the GMs and focusing on the roster, and we'll pick it back up and get back to Toronto Saturday morning.
Obviously, information doesn't consider doing something. But the stuff we've heard is that you're not talking to people you talk to the first time because you have information on them. You'll get back to them at some point later.
I think it's fair to say, I don't know that it's get back to them at some point later. I think if it comes down to that, then we will. The people we spoke to the first time have a pretty good feel for them, and it was more spending the early part of the process talking to some people we didn't get a chance to speak to. So that's been the bulk of the work right now.
Are these people jobs 2 years ago, guys you didn't get permission to talk to, a combination?
It's a combination. People that we didn't get permission to, people that had managers' jobs, all those things. But we really didn't. People that were outside the people that were outside the organization that we had talked to before, we haven't talked to them.
And Don Wakamatsu's name gets mentioned. Was he one of the group that you interviewed for the manager's job, and you decided to go with him as a bench coach? Just take me through how that worked.
We interviewed Don the first time around, and John ultimately talked to him as well and interviewed him. And he was obviously, with his experience as a bench coach, John thought it was a good fit. I certainly did as well. Also, the ability to work with someone like JP and CB and so on. And obviously, Don's been great for the organization in the 2 years he's been here. I can't speak to necessarily the work on the bench; it'll be more John's thing. But speaking his primary responsibility in terms of instruction with JP, I think he's made tremendous strides, and that's because of the work Don's done.
Alex, have you been asking to speak to people, or have you been waiting for people to come to you?
No, I don't think you wait for people to come to you. I think you definitely, when you ask, it'd be an odd way to do it, in my opinion. People that we have interest in speaking to will ask. Otherwise, we don't want to waste anyone's time. It's not fair to them. If we don't think that they're going to be serious candidates and so on, we want to try to be as candid and transparent as we can be. So no, we wouldn't just run some of the process for the sake of doing it.
Butter walking away the internal.
Yeah, we haven't. I haven't talked about the names, but there's no question guys that are internally here. I've talked to all of our guys that were here, and even Butter, who was here, had a long conversation with him too. So we talked about the team, we've talked about the position, things like that. But I really haven't rolled out, these are the 10 candidates or the 3 candidates or the 4 candidates. But guys internally that are here, I've talked to everybody on the staff.
Do you have a timeline at all?
No, sooner rather than later. But we're definitely making progress, and I haven't set a date for it. But right now, I'd rather get it done sooner than later, but it's not going to be rushed.